it's not only a question of, billions of dollars being deposited, being siphoned off from Ukraine, Russia, and elsewhere in the former USSR and being deposited in European and offshore zone banks, Virgin Islands, Cyprus, Liechtenstein, Switzerland, France, Austria, and of course, especially Great Britain, Londongrad. But also think tanks have received money from oligarchs. So Brookings Institution and the Institute of International Economics, where Anders Asplund used to work, both received large donations from Viktor Pinchuk. So institutions that would be calling for reform in Ukraine, for fighting oligarchs, have also received money from oligarchs. But more, I would say, more despicably in some ways, is that the Ukrainian diaspora complains all the time about the weakness of reforms, the undermining of the Euromaidan revolution, the non-implementation of the demands of the revolutionaries. And at the same time, some people in the Ukrainian diaspora have accepted money from Ukrainian oligarchs. Some Ukrainian Americans in Washington, D.C., right on the eve of the Euromaidan revolution, were taking money from Akhmetov and Kluyev's foundations for the annual Ukrainian event in December of each year. It was me that wrote to the Ukrainian Weekly and embarrassed them about this. How can they take money from these organizations that are opposed to the Euromaidan? Of course, they didn't know the Euromaidan was going to take place when they accepted the money months before. But nevertheless, they shouldn't be taking money from Akhmetov and Kluyev. But more importantly, the Ukrainian Americans accepted and they defended the taking of millions of dollars from Dmytro Firtash, somebody the U.S. government wants to put on trial for corruption charges. So Ukrainian Americans were ready to receive money for a monument to the victims of the Holodomor, despite the fact their own government wants to put Firtash on trial for corruption. Rather bizarre. And especially because Firtash is Putin's man in Ukraine. We can't demand of the Ukrainian government to fight the oligarchs, to deal with the oligarchs, to take them, to separate them from business and politics, to reduce their influence, and then we take their own money. We should not be hypocritical about this.